This is a message from DeltaSwag. I want to give my thoughts on the Zimmerman verdict. Um, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this just pretty much shows that America is far from come to its roots, and it still has a long, long way to go. Society is just so screwed up. It is absolutely ridiculous. So fucked up. I'm sorry for my language, but if you don't like it, just click away from the video. This is my true thoughts. And I'm just going to give it to you straight and be blunt with it. If you don't like my view, that's your problem. This whole thing was absolute bullshit. First off, I don't care at all about any of the evidence of what Trayvon Martin on his side, what was wrong here. This shouldn't have happened, and it could have been avoided if this fat fuck would have just stayed in his truck. He had no business messing with this dude. In my opinion, if I would have seen somebody like drunk or causing a ruckus or breaking into somebody's house or doing something crazy or beating up on somebody or whatever, I'm not going to go anywhere near him because that's none of my business and I'm not supposed to get involved. That's not my place. It's not my place. Period. And if he would have just followed procedures, this is why he should have been guilty, because he didn't follow the rules. He didn't follow procedure. Newsflash, buddy, if you want to be a cop, cops have to follow orders. Did you know that? Did you know that, Georgie? Huh? No, you didn't. Even if the fact that if you thought he was innocent this whole time and that he was just standing up for himself and just trying to defend himself, he can't go back into society. People want him dead. People want to hurt him. He can't go back into society. He can move to a different country if he wants to. He can go hide like a little bitch if he wants. They're going to find him and they're going to cause harm to him. They're going to have to put him in the protection service or something. He should have just took himself to jail and just took it like a man. It's ridiculous. I mean, either way, jail or out there, he's going to get in trouble. But at least in jail, you have a cell to be in. Out there, you could be torn apart by a crowd. And I guarantee somebody probably will try and get their hands on him. There's probably something's going to go down. But in my thought, I'm not worried about that. My thought is on this whole verdict thing. In my opinion, do I think Trayvon Martin was in any way kind of the bad guy? I mean, people are saying that, he's a weed smoker, he's a gangster, he's a vigilante. He's pretty much this and that. He's evil. He's a bad guy. He probably did deserve it. No, he didn't. The fact, even if he beat his ass, the whole point of this, he should have followed the rules. If he would have just followed the rules, if Zimmerman would just follow the rules, none of this would have happened. The police would have came, just pat him down or something, did whatever, did their job, because that's their job, not his. That's the whole point of this. It wasn't his job. It wasn't his place. He didn't follow the rules. And I understand this is not the only case. People are saying that, oh, we're only showing Trayvon Martin's thing as the biggest thing in media. Okay, I understand. This kind of stuff does happen a lot. This is the first time. This is just something big that hit the media that everybody's finding out about. This stuff happens all the time. I know that. But this is a pretty big story, and this whole trial and this whole situation just pretty much shows how America has pretty much just has no social stability. There we go. The social stability is just nothing but a rickety bridge. It's bullshit. It has a long way to go. Society is just so screwed up. I can't stress it anymore. George should be found guilty because he didn't follow the rules. He can't go back into society. He killed an unarmed teenage boy. The dude is freaking huge. He's bigger than me. He's bigger than me and Trayvon put together. And I'm a pretty big dude. Even I couldn't overpower Zimmerman. How the hell does a 17-year-old, 100-pound little teenage boy overpower this 300-pound old-ass man who's trying to be some little Batman kind of guy, trying to be a cop? He had no business in this whole thing. If he would have just stayed in the car, everything would have been fine. This whole thing wouldn't have happened. Nobody would have had to lose anything. Nobody would have got their ass kicked. and I would have kicked his ass too if I was Trayvon. Because he was feeling threatened. He was being threatened for his life. That is the whole point of this. It's not like Trayvon Martin came up to him with a gun and tried to rob him at gunpoint, or if he was starting some stuff and calling George names and they was at a party or something and they was getting into a fight. And if they get into a fight, duke it out. Whoever wins walks away. But George, apparently, from what they're saying, got his ass beat, and then George brought out a gun and shot him. He shouldn't have even shot him. He killed the guy. What do you not understand about that? He killed a 100-pound, 17-year-old teenage black boy with nothing other than Skittles and a can of tea. God forbid I walk around in a hoodie and with my hands in my pocket with just walking home with some food and stuff. God forbid. Ooh, look at this guy. This guy looks pretty suspicious. He looked like he's going to cause some trouble. But let some little skater punk walk down the street, probably just stole something from a gas station. Nobody's going to pull him over. He looks fine. Fuck America, man. There ain't no such thing as... freedom isn't even free. There's no such thing as free. It's still the same. Nothing has changed at all in this world. This is still the white man's world. Because we never get our share. You know what I'm saying? We never get our share. We still get treated like fucking shit. The way they let rappers betray all of us, portray, the way how they see all of us, everybody's so prejudiced and think that we're always about to do something and always get jumpy and trippy around us. We are not here to cause harm. There's no such thing. I'm not racist at all in any way. The way I see it, there's bad people, there's good people. Yin and yang. You can't have good and you can't have all good and you can't have all bad. There has to be a right balance. There's going to be bad people, there's going to be good people. In this case, I wasn't there. I didn't have no camera. I didn't pay too much attention to this whole thing, but I've seen enough to know that this whole thing was bullshit and that George should have been found guilty. If I was one of the people there in charge, I would have saw this as guilty because he had no business. If Trayvon was what they really were trying to portray him as and say that he was a gangster and this and that and he was a threat, why was George going after him with a gun in the first place, trying to be some freaking neighborhood hero? He shouldn't have done that. This was not his business. It wasn't his place. He shouldn't have did it. That is the whole point of this. He shouldn't have did it. He killed an innocent, unarmed man. The guy didn't have a gun. It's not self-defense. He didn't come at him with a knife. He didn't come at him with no gun. He didn't come at him with anything. He's just walking around. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm missing something here, if Trayvon did do something. But as far as I'm concerned, that's not the point that I'm trying to make here. George should be found guilty. He didn't follow the rules. He didn't follow procedure. This was an unarmed 17-year-old, 100-pound teenage black man. He was in no way a threat to the point where you had to fucking shoot him. If I'm going to shoot somebody, he's going to have a gun or he's going to be threatening me and have some kind of way. And I'm going to warn him before I start popping off. But if the dude's just coming at me and just trying to fight me or whatever, I'm going to fight back. If he pulls out a gun, I'll pull out a gun. Period. That's the way I see it. So correct me if I'm wrong. God forbid. God forbid a black man just walk down the street. Black men can't do nothing these days. I don't even feel comfortable with just driving at normal speed in some certain areas because I still get pulled over. People think I stole my car just because of how good it is or just because, I look suspicious. God forbid a black man does anything in this world. That's why everybody's hating on fucking Barack Obama. God forbid a black man ever gets some power in this world and gets a vision, Instead of having to be some basketball player or selling fucking shoes on the commercials and stuff like that. Or, just making something out of himself and seeming like one of them. I'm saying like a rich, good old boy. God forbid. So that's the whole point I'm making here. Just be safe out there. Just do your own thing. This whole thing shouldn't have been done. I really hope that George is safe. I mean, he does deserve to be punished in some kind of way, but I'm not saying that people need to go out there and fucking find him and shoot his ass. But he does deserve some kind of punishment in some way. Something must be done. This trial needs to be recalled or something. This is all bullshit. George did not follow the procedure. He didn't do what he was told to do. That's the whole point here. So thank you for watching this video. This was my thoughts on the trial. Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. We're really sorry that this had to happen to you, and we all feel your pain here. Because this isn't the first time this kind of stuff happens. This happens all over the world. And it's a very terrible thing, but that's just the way the world is. There's nothing we can really do. This is the way it's always going to be, probably, at this point. At this kind of juncture. It's just the way it's going to be. It's sad. People just need to fucking grow up. Thank you for watching this. Rest in peace, and shout out to the family. My condolences. I'm really sorry this happened to you.